ask that your words be said and not mine, Father. Service the direction that it has to go. Give me the strength to get through it on those difficult moments, Father. Let those words fall on that good soil that you have tended and tilled, and that it bears good fruit. And Father, I pray this in your name, Jesus' name. This one's going to be a little challenging, I think.
For you?
Yeah, I think so. I've been struggling with this all morning when this came up, and I was like, man, I was looking for ways to get out of it. I was going through different sermons I had and kind of going through it, and I have my laptop out. I was trying to go through some different stuff and find a way out, but the more I pushed, I think the more God pushed back. Because it's not about me. It's not what I want. It's not what's easiest. Sometimes it's the hard stuff. And as I sat down this morning, I came across Galatians 5:16-17. But I say, walk by the Spirit, and you will not gratify the desires of the flesh, for the desires of the flesh are against the Spirit, and the desires of the Spirit are against the flesh. Now, why do I come up with that one off the bat, right? Because the devil is tearing things apart. The devil is 100% he's tearing apart the churches, he's tearing apart relationships, he's tearing apart the youth. I was looking at these studies that they did, because I'm not going to say the other word because I struggle with that one. Yeah, I throw too many T's in there. So we're just going to go with studies because that's easier. It just why people stop believing, why people stop going to church, why people stop praying. And it was depressing. Some of it was because somebody was hurt by a church member or something of that nature, and they left the church, or sometimes it's just misunderstandings, lack of teaching. But when I was going through that, for me, it was like a gut punch. And I started digging and looking and like, well, why? Why is it like this? Why does it have to be like this? And then I came across, and I'm like, when Jesus was tempted, he was tempted in every way we are, but without sin. I'm like, okay, so I can argue the fact, yeah, we're living in a broken, sinful world. It's around us. It happens, and we could be okay with that. But I'm tired of being okay with it. Because it doesn't need to necessarily be that way, but we're giving the devil more power than he should even have. And I said this one's a tough one for me because I'm serious. We give him more power than he should have, and we should be mad about it. We should be angry about it. We're not. We're just going through autopilot, and we're like, oh, bad things happened in this person's life, or bad things happened in that person's life, or bad things are happening in my life, and we're okay with it. Somebody says, pray harder. Somebody says, go find somebody that's a prayer warrior. That's what you need. Go find somebody who's a spiritual leader in the church. That's what you need. But we're okay with autopilot. We're okay with saying, things happen and I'm okay with it. But I'm not.
And you shouldn't be either. We need to start saying, you know what? It's a spiritual thing, not a physical thing. The devil's a spiritual way, and we're okay with it. And I'm not. We need to sit there and say, no, not anymore. Devil, you don't get my child. You don't get my children. You don't get my spouse. You don't get my life. You don't get my church. I'm done with you taking things and destroying and breaking it, because we sit there and we go, oh, what can I do? Remember I mentioned Jesus was tempted every way we were, but without sin. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, how I'm trying to wrap my brain around this. I'm like, how is it that he was, I mean, yes, he was the Son of God. Okay, that gives him a leg up. Okay, I'll give you that. But as I start digging and I'm looking and I'm like, how did he try to teach us? What did I miss? What did I not pay attention to? What did I not see? And I'm battling this in my head. And boy, was it a mess. And I'm going back and forth. And like, what have I missed? And what have I not taught? And what are people not being taught? And what did I miss? And I looked and I went, God, I need some help. Because I'm not seeing it. And he says, you're not fighting right. And neither are those that are struggling. You've talked about and you preached about submitting to God. I surrender, right? I love that song. I surrender all. Man, what a powerful song that is. But you got to surrender to God first and foremost. And then, and only then, you have to resist the devil with faith and truth. And I cannot say that strong enough and sometimes loud enough. With faith and truth, putting on the full armor of God. We've talked about that most of the times because it is a struggle, and it's a spiritual struggle, not a physical one. But here's the thing, when Jesus was tempted, he fought back with truth. He fought back with scripture. He didn't say, oh, there's nothing I can do. He fought back. He didn't say, it's okay, I don't care, it's not that big of a deal, somebody else will pray for me. I got 12 disciples. I taught them. They can pray this away. Devil, you got, no, he didn't. He answered with truth. And then when I start thinking, I'm like, how did he do it? Because he didn't have this. He didn't just walk around and open this up and be like, okay, guys, here we go. This is how you're going to do it. He didn't have that. He knew God's word. If we want to do it, we're told to be more like Jesus and less like ourselves. If we're going to accomplish that, we need to know this. Period. We need to know it. Not have somebody else know it, not have somebody else say it for us, but we need to know this. Because that's where the battle begins. That's where you start having every bit of that authority comes in, but you have the knowledge, the truth, the fighting chance to say, you know what, devil? You don't get my kids. Not a single one of them anymore. You don't get my youth in my church. You don't get my marriage. You don't get my life. You don't get to destroy my job. You don't get to take from me anymore. I'm done with being okay. I'm done with it. I'm going to stand here and I'm going to fight because it's a spiritual fight. And I'm going to be ready for it. And I'm going to tell the devil, one, you can go pound sand, and if you want to continue to come and you want to come and shadow my doorstep of my heart, guess what? I know a guy. And boy, is there going to be a battle like none other. Because I'm done surrendering. I'm done letting the devil take hold. I'm done giving him time. I'm done with listening to the lies. I want the truth. I need to stand firm in the shield of faith and the sword of the Spirit. That's Ephesians 6. Relying on God's strength, knowing he fights for you. He fights for us. Not my strength. Physically, Okay, maybe not as much anymore. I'm a little older. Changing, right? So physically, I think I can still, go toe to toe. Not too bad. I mean, there's always going to be somebody bigger, stronger, faster, younger than me. But I can hold my own physically. But spiritually, man, I'm telling you guys, if you don't rely on God's strength, you will fail. And the devil's going to walk all over you. Submitting to God is the first step. It is submitting to God, then resist the devil. Not the other way around. And he will flee. James 4:7. It's crucial. It's important. We are told so much in our society to go with the flow. Go with the flow. Do what makes you happy. Doesn't matter what it is. If it makes you happy, then do it. Does it make you happy to go on autopilot in your walk with God? It doesn't make me happy. It doesn't make me happy as a pastor. It doesn't make me happy when I do it myself. It doesn't make things change. If I don't resist the devil in every turn, because he's going to come, and the stronger you are in faith, the harder he's going to come at you because he wants to win. He doesn't have to take the others that don't believe. We have such a huge following that it was talking about Christian faith. It is the dominant faith in the United States, hands down. But it is the one that is failing the most right now. That's sad. It is the one failing. And everybody's, I know I'm going to get backlash because, what are you talking about? There's been this movement with Charlie Kirk and everything. No, they're jumping on a bandwagon. It's not that it's succeeding. It's, there's a new thing. I'm going to chase it for a while. It's something shiny. It's not that. The thing is, people aren't coming to church because either they got hurt or upset or church doesn't work for them. And the COVID screwed that. It did, because what COVID did was it all of a sudden, you can't go to church, but you can't tell me what I can do because that's my faith. And then churches had to start scrambling and how do we put things online, and let's get this online. And now there's people that are going, it's more convenient if I go online. Churches are scrambling to meet that, to get an online platform so they can meet more people. And I agree, that's a great plan, but that shouldn't be your go-to. Because you can't, and I repeat this enough, you cannot fellowship online. What are you going to, you typing away? Reading words? That's like text. Text is impersonal. Can you see my emotion through text? If I'm already emotional, I'm angry, and I'm ticked off. And Rick texts me, and he's like, I'm going to be like, hey, dude, what's up? What do you mean, what's up? I'm going to show you what's up. And I start texting back angrily, right? Like, oh, man, you're not going to believe this, and this happened, and this happened. And I'm putting my emotion in. But then he reads it, he just goes, oh, he's got a lot of stuff going on. You can't read emotion. You cannot fellowship as church is intended through online. It's a great platform to reach those that haven't seen, but it's not your final step. Your step